It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Jen Cohen as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. As always, it is great to have you in studio with us today. We talked shop with the cop recently, and today we're talking about Toys for Tots. And Sedona coordinator Karen Barrow's in studio. Welcome to studio, Karen.
Thank you.
And Tyler Wu from Sedona Fire. Welcome to studio.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
We've been chatting for about the last, 20 minutes or so about Toys for Tots. And I talked to you about last year I was involved in Toys for Tots. I will be again for this year. And it's a very big program that started quite a while back. And it's just grown and grown and grown across the nation. And give us a little history lesson, if you would.
Okay,
Karen.
it started in 1947. It was Major Bill Hendricks from the U.S. Marine Corps. His wife actually had some toys, a homemade Raggedy Ann doll that she wanted to donate, and there was no place for her to give it out. So the local Marine Reserves got together and started distributing toys.
Isn't it amazing?
It's amazing.
It started one person who made a toy and thought, I want to give this away, but could not find somebody to give it to. And then her husband steps in, the Marine Corps steps in, and all of a sudden Toys for Tots is born. And I think it says, I went to the Toys for Tots wiki and I pulled up that information because I'm always curious about when people come in to do a show, just how these things originate. I'm always surprised by how they originate. But then in 1948, it was official. This is Toys for Tots. And it's continued on throughout the years. But it used to be, as the wiki says, is that it was toys that were like, if I had played with something for a few years, I would give it, and then they would fix them.
They would fix them.
And give them back out. But in the late 70s, early 80s, it was like, well, now that's kind of a liability. So we have to have new, and now they're new unwrapped toys, which we've got sitting around us on today's program as well. So it's amazing.
It is amazing.
How did Karen Barrow get involved in Toys for Tots?
Well, my husband volunteered me.
Did he?
He did.
My wife does that to me all the time, too.
Right.
Yeah, And how long ago, though?
4 years ago.
Okay. And what do you think?
Oh, I love doing it. It's just really fun. I get to go out, organize it, get toys collected, meet people. This last year, I've actually been able to be on the giving end of it, where
Nice.
I've gone and watched kids receive some of their toys. But I do a lot of the background work.
I've been around for the background work, and it is well orchestrated, and it's amazing how it's just well orchestrated. I'll just leave it at that. The detail that's put into to be able to put it together, it's amazing. Tyler, how'd you get involved?
Well, this is our second year partnering with Toys for Tots. Last year was a tremendous success. We had off-duty volunteers, off-duty crews come in and volunteer, help collect toys. We also had on-duty crews come out to our collection sites and bring their apparatus with them. We brought our engines, ambulances, even our trail rescue, our Polaris, our off-road vehicle.
Oh wow, it's a big production then.
Yeah, it was a big production, and we over the years we built friendships with our local grocery stores who kindly allowed us to stand in front of their stores and collect toys. Okay. And I can't say how much the community had a hand in that. They were very generous, and overall they're the ones who made it happen, bringing toys and supplying those toys for our local youth.
And that's what it boils down to, right?
That is exactly it.
Yeah,
and we're looking forward to doing that again this year.
Okay, so now have you guys been out and about gathering? Because this is not just something that happens overnight or takes a week or two to put together. This takes a long time to put together.
That's correct. Currently at all our fire stations we have collection boxes.
Okay.
So at Station 1, 4, 5, 6, and 3, throughout our fire district we have collection boxes, and our personnel is currently donating toys as we speak and going towards that effort as well.
Okay, so if I want to participate in Toys for Tots, this is one way I can do it now. I can go to the store if I'm shopping for somebody else, or just going to the store. Maybe I just want to go out and do some Christmas shopping. I go to the store, pick up some toys. They have to be wrapped new toys.
Unwrapped.
Unwrapped. I'm sorry. Unwrapped new toys. Meaning wrapped, meaning in their package. Wrapped in their package. The toys have to be in their packages. get those. I can take them to any Sedona Fire District station.
That's correct.
And I can drop those off. We're also going to get information about the Verde Valley Toys for Tots that's going on too, because that's happening as well. But at the Sedona Fire District, you guys are involved. So at each of those stations, I can drop off my toys.
That's correct.
Where, Karen, is there anywhere else I can drop off new toys?
There are 45 different sites
Oh,
in
wow.
Sedona,
Okay.
in the village of Oak Creek.
Okay.
So some of the major ones are like Bash's,
Okay.
Walgreens, Ace Hardware. They're just all over town, and we've had the boxes out since the middle of November.
Since the middle of November.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, it does take a while.
It does
Okay.
take a while.
I'm being told we have to take our break a little bit early, so let's take our first break, okay? And then when we come back, we'll
Okay.
talk more about Toys for Tots. Phone number for Karen is 282-7358. Sedona Coordinator for Toys for Tots, Karen Barrow, in studio today, as well as Tyler Wu with Sedona Fire District. Stick around, countywide, back in just a couple minutes.
Northern Arizona Mortgage Corporation is your local choice for personalized home loans, and they've been doing it since 1986. They help home buyers obtain FHA, VA, USDA guaranteed rural housing, and conventional loans. From start to finish, they offer a safe in-person application process with licensed loan originators. Contact Shelley White Collier at northernArizonaMortgage.com or call 634-4251. Visit their office, located at 707 East Mingus, Suite 601, Cottonwood.
Lease it now with Sears Hometown and Outlet. Right now is the perfect time to take a closer look at leasing. Leasing's a great way to get more. Choose from thousands of items throughout the store and online. Pick out at least $199 worth of items to start a lease and take home the brands you love with no credit required. It's simple. Take home what you want, when you want it, and leave satisfied.
Come see me, Lisa Peterson, your local store owner, and our great team at the Cottonwood Sears Hometown Store.
Or need furniture for the holidays? Time to order is now. Amish Home Decor offers furniture for every room in your home in many different woods, stains, and styles. We even offer patio furniture and mattresses. If you don't see what you're looking for on the showroom floor, just ask. We buy from 100 different Amish families located at the corner of Glassford Hill and Highway 69 in Prescott Valley. Amish Home Decor is the place to buy tomorrow's antiques.
Fabulous views and unmatched quality with efficiency in mind. Just announced, C&B Construction is the only contractor ever to win the EPA's coveted Indoor Air Plus Leaders Award 4 years in a row. These Energy Star certified homes provide unparalleled energy efficiency, comfort, durability, and indoor air quality. C&B Construction is currently building at Gray Fox Ridge and Crossroads at Mingus. C&B Construction, locally respected and nationally recognized.
Welcome back to Countywide. We're talking Toys for Tots with the Sedona area, Sedona Coordinator Karen Barrow, and Tyler Wu from Sedona Fire District. I look down so I don't get these things mixed up. Phone number is 282-7358, and the website is toysfortots.org. Got that all right, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Impressive. Okay, so you mentioned before we went to the break that mid-November is when we start raising toys and getting things put together. Mm-hmm. That seems like not a very long time to get things put together, but it does continue on throughout the year. I mean, it's not the only thing. You sent us a list of things that you've been doing, and it's been busy. We're talking about Christmas trees, all kinds of different things.
We have been very busy. We just finished a fundraiser at Tlaquepaque. So we had trees that were decorated and wreaths that were decorated, and families could apply for these, and we got sponsors for these trees and wreaths. So they went to families that deserved them. So there were different families at the end of the fundraiser, 30 different families that came in and got a decorated tree or wreath.
Okay.
And we used that to raise money. We also had trees that were raffled off to the community. So
that's pretty clever. Whose idea was that?
Well, part of it, I don't know whose idea it was.
That's pretty clever, though, to decorate trees and then auction them off. And then so I could come down and say, well, this is a great way I can donate money and I get this really nice tree for my house.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's just awesome.
Right, it was. And,
yeah, that's a great idea.
And then the quilt group, the Red Rock Quilters, they had a table and sold a lot of items, and we made a lot of money with their items too.
It's such a neat way how people find ways to make money and get people involved and have a good time. How do you find out who needs a little extra help during the holiday season? How does Toys for Tots do that?
There's several ways we can do it.
Okay.
We contact the schools, and they know who's on the free and reduced lunch list, and they send out an application through the schools, so parents can sign up.
Okay.
And we get a big list from them. We also contact the Sedona Food Bank, and they have a registration period. And then we contact St. Vincent de Paul, and they register people. People can also register online.
Through the website?
Through the website.
ToysForTots.org. Oh, okay.
Or they can call me.
Or they can call you. Okay. Now, is there still time to sign up for something like that? If I'm sitting at home going, my Christmas is not going to be very good for the kids this year, is there still time to do something like that?
There is still time to sign up.
What is the cutoff date for the Sedona area?
Well, the cutoff date would probably be next Friday.
Okay. All right. I think that's the 14th or 15th of December.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that'll be the cutoff date. So there's still time.
There's still time.
Now let's get into the volunteer side of it, because last year was the first time, and like Leonard got you volunteered for this. My wife got me volunteered for it last year too, because her work actually participates in it. So Arizona Central Credit Union, they get a bunch of employees together, and I think there was, I want to say, about 10 of us that could do it, because the rest of them were working at the time. Went down to Toys for Tots, and it was this huge room, and it was, as I mentioned at the beginning, it was so well organized. There was 5 tables on each side, very long tables covered in different category toys. There was like young children, toddler to 3 or toddler to 2 or something like that. And then there was the girl side, then there was the boy side, and girl side, boy side, all the way up until what age group?
Well, we go up to 14.
14. Okay.
Right. So we start with 0 to 14, and it's basically just like that. We get an empty storefront that we use and line up the tables and have signs about the ages, and girls on one side and boys on the other. We get our Sedona Detachment, Marine Corps League Detachment volunteers. The Rotary Club comes in and helps some volunteers. Anybody who contacts me can come in and help and volunteer.
It requires a lot of people.
It requires.
Tell me, Karen, just how many people does it take to pull this thing off? Because I saw the Flagstaff one last year, and I'll see it again this year, and it was an enormous amount of people that it requires to pull something like this off. It's not just you and Tyler here.
No, it requires a lot of people, and I've been asked that before, and I've never stopped to count how many.
More the merrier, though.
There were a lot. We probably had, we bagged toys about 2 days ago. We did our first group, and we probably had about 10 to 12 people in there at that time. We can't get too many more in there because the room isn't big enough.
Right, but it's nice to have it full, and everyone's busy and having a good time.
And then you've got the transportation crew. So there's a lot involved.
So let me ask you this: so there's multiple ways that I can volunteer to help. If I'm not just donating some funds, or going out and picking up toys to drop off, or bagging toys for the families, I can also be delivering toys. So there's multiple different ways that somebody can.
There's a lot of ways they can be involved.
Volunteer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this one. It dawned on me that we're talking about kids from newborns all the way to 14. Now, I know newborns pretty easy to buy for, because they really don't care what they have. You know, they're just going to put it in their mouth and they're going to chew on it. So that's easy. And then we got this age group, which is my favorite, and it's just so much fun to go down those aisles in the store, because I want to buy one of everything. You know, it's got to be a little more challenging for the older kids.
It is more challenging for the older kids, and there's less donations for the older kids. The National Toys for Tots helps us out on that. They send us shipments, they call it supplemental toys, and they send us shipments of toys. So we get things like remote control helicopters, remote control cars, bath sets and makeup kits, and all kinds of things for older boys and girls. So those start coming in the middle of November, and we stack those all up on the tables. Sports balls, basketballs, footballs, all that type of thing.
Right.
So, and games and puzzles. So they send us quite a bit. But if you are out shopping, look around for things for older kids, because we need those probably more than some of the tables 3 to 6 year olds, those sort of overflow.
Right, right. And you said you've got a 14-year-old granddaughter, so you're in tune with what a 14-year-old wants. You said that she sends you a very detailed list of things, so that would help. So I would get. Tyler, do you have kids?
Not yet.
Not yet.
On the way.
Well, you're learning a lot about toys right now, so pay
summer.
Close attention, because there is a definite fine line when they reach a certain age where they're just not going to be playing with these kind of toys anymore. So really, if you've got a grandchild or a child that's at that age, you kind of got an insight as to what they want. But I did notice that last year, the older kids, there was a little less to choose from. So we could definitely use some help in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How much money does it take to pull something like this off? It's going to be a tremendous amount.
It takes quite a bit of money to pull it off, but there's we get a lot of support. So Toys R Us raises money all year long with their sales. Every time there's a sale, they ask for a donation. And every year we get a huge amount of money to go spend at Toys R Us.
Okay.
So we have a big shopping trip. We go down there with several vehicles or a trailer and spend the morning shopping. It's like, okay, you've got $1,000. Go find toys for this age group.
Oh, wow.
And you just fill the cart up and keep buying. It's really fun. So that's one huge help. This year, for the first time, we distributed bikes. So we distributed.
Right, I saw the bikes. Tell me about the bikes. That's great.
Yeah, usually we've only had a couple donated, and then we distributed. And this time, we asked parents to sign up, and we had a drawing. And so we've distributed 31 bikes so far.
Wow.
And we bought most of them down at Toys R Us. But they came in boxes. They weren't assembled yet.
Oh, boy.
So we had to figure out where to put them. Get a group to come in and assemble them. That's where we found the Verde Valley Cyclist Coalition. And they came in and had those bikes assembled in 45 minutes. They just sat down and had a great time and got them all together. And then last Saturday at Tlaquepaque, we had a lady from Coconino County Safe Kids, and she came down and provided helmets. She provided 10 helmets and then gave us a great price on the rest of the helmets. And she fitted the helmets to the children. So we had a lot of happy kids getting bikes.
Is it Sedona Fire or Sedona Police that does the bike fair? Like the bike safety course thing?
Yeah, Sedona Fire every year we do the bike rodeo.
The bike rodeo.
And we promote bike safety.
Yeah, and you guys give out helmets at that point in time too, right?
That's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
So that's in like the spring, I want to say.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. So that'll be coming up, and so we got 31 bike riders that might need a little extra safety.
Exactly.
And I have their names.
There we go. Wow. Okay. All right. So let's take another break. Okay. Karen Barrow in studio today. She's the Sedona coordinator for Toys for Tots. Tyler Wu from Sedona Fire in studio as well today. Phone number for Karen is 282-7358. Website is toysfortots.org. Countywide back in just a couple minutes.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley in Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
The Q102.9 plays all the hits.
Yo, what's going on? This is Drizzy Drake.
Ariana Grande.
Maroon 5.
This is Rihanna.
I'm Shawn Mendes. Hey, it's Bruno Mars. Ed Sheeran. What's up, guys? It's Justin Bieber. You're listening to The Weeknd.
Start your day with Brian James in the morning. You'll get at least 10 songs in a row during your ride home with Julie Page.
Zach Sang Show.
Catch the Zach Sang Show weeknights 7 to midnight. And Kelly Fox weekends on your home for hit music. The Q102.9 and 104.9 in Prescott and Cottonwood.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness. When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a few minutes left of the program. More information for you again, if in case you haven't written it down yet or haven't memorized. The number is 282-7358, and the website is toysfortots.org. This is for the Sedona area. Where are you putting all this stuff together, and when will you be done with it and get started on next year?
Where are we? Where are we working? We're working in the storefront in the Bashas Shopping Center.
Okay. Everybody knows where that is in Sedona.
Right.
Right.
And we'll be done on the 19th of December, so it's getting close.
Let me ask you this. Do you want people to just show up and say, hey, I'm here to help, or would you rather a phone call and kind of organize that a little bit?
I'd rather have a phone call.
Okay.
Right, because we're not there every day.
Okay.
We're there on specific days.
Okay, all right. We won't say what those specific days are, but there's plenty of time. Imagine when you're there for the day, you're probably there for the day. And in and out.
In and out, but sometimes we're done by noon.
Okay.
We'll start about 9:30, be done around noon.
Now, are you delivering already?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we took toys out to Big Park School, the charter school, and some other groups too.
Last year you had quite a few kids you helped out.
We had about 1,000 children last year.
Wow, that's amazing, huh? 1,000 kids.
Right. This year we have about 750 at this point. It's still growing.
Sure. Do you get new kids in every day?
We do.
Pretty much every day?
I actually, for the different schools and different organizations, I ask for the list pretty early, but I expect to get last-minute requests too, which is fine, but it's easier to keep it organized if I get the majority of the names earlier.
The economy has improved since last year too, so maybe that's it. Is it a bad thing that you don't have as many names?
No,
be honest,
it's not a bad thing, no.
And you were saying before the show too that if you have excess toys, so the folks know, you don't have anywhere to store these things, so you take them to the outlying Toys for Tots, maybe the Verde Valley, maybe Flagstaff, but other Toys for Tots groups that are doing the same program.
Exactly. Last year we took a lot of them to Holbrook because they didn't have a Toys for Tots organization there, and my husband grew up in Holbrook, so he's got contacts there. So they distributed some of the toys that we couldn't distribute. We give each child a lot of toys, so they'll get 2 to 3 toys, a book, a stuffed animal, and several stocking stuffers.
Okay.
So by the time you bag a family's full of toys in one bag, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
And sometimes you have to have 2 bags for one family.
Sometimes you do. Yeah, the bigger families. Yeah, I remember last year doing it that, these cards, the information's all on these cards, and you literally walk down the rows. You'll see it's a child, it's a boy, he's 7 years old, and I think they even have a little bit of, am I right in saying there's like a little bit of interest? This boy likes soccer and maybe
sometimes
a little bit of this,
we
a little
get
bit of that. Yeah, you know, kind
sometimes.
of they got their little wish list and stuff they
Right.
put on there. So, you know, you do your best to try to fill that sort of stuff out because, I mean, who doesn't want to give the kid what they want for Christmas? But you take that card, you just go down the aisle, and a friend of mine, Mike, and I, he either held the bag or I held the bag. We walked down the aisle, and one person put the toy in, the other person just held it open.
Yeah,
and
it
then
takes a partner.
It does take a partner. It is seriously quite an organized. It's an orchestra. It's just well orchestrated.
Yeah,
I keep saying that because I can't come up with anything else. But it's just amazing how, at the end of the day, you feel really good about what you've done. And all these kids are going to be taken care of on Christmas. I mean, the whole idea is you don't want the kids to not have a toy on Christmas, right?
That's right. I remember when I was growing up how excited I was, and my sister and I would be so excited to wake up on Christmas morning and open gifts. And to think that we could do that and make that happen for local youth is extra special.
Tyler, did you let your parents sleep in on Christmas morning?
You know, well, a little bit, not too early, but we were definitely ready to go.
Mine got us up at about 3 a.m.
We had a deadline. We couldn't wake them before a certain time. We
couldn't wake them?
No, we were awake, but it was early. It had to be like 6. But we couldn't get them up